You have taken a job that would take you a bit north of Waterdeep, up the high road, and into the Mere of Dead Men, into the swamp.
Oh, I am Bedwin Shitstaven, the Dark Sorcerer.
I'll be playing Delvin, Dwarfette.
I'm going to be playing Portic Grave, the half-elf paladin.
What's your name, bub?
Sniffles.
Yep.
No, he sniffles. Barney's.
Barney.
You make your way to, you assume, is the village of New West Harbor. It's barely anything. You see about maybe half a dozen buildings, structures, and you are now attempting to find the individual who put the posting for a job. Thomas. Not everyone knows this, but our world that had been in ancient times split asunder into two. So what was once a world called Abeir-Toril became two separate worlds out of phase with each other, Abeir and Toril.
You want us to get you a beer?
So let me get this straight. The job is to go out to these ruins and find something that is super alien, and it seems to me that we'll know it when we see it.
If it would spark your interest as something interesting or important, then likely it will spark others' interests. Welcome back to Amorous Armadillo. We're going to play some more Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Ramsey. I'm the DM. And I'm here with the same three dudes that were here before. Let's go. Bedouin.
That's me.
Yeah. Kolhata appears to you in your dreams, as she's wont to do. That is usually how she reaches out to you when it does happen.
She's a lady of my dreams.
She is. She is a diva of some kind. Diva. A celestial being. An angelic servant of a greater power.
She like into metal? It's like a metal diva?
No.
Like Heart?
Pop diva. So a little bit of R&B. She does attempt to guide you. And she's been your constant focus and probably one of the early reasons why you didn't immediately fall to darkness when your sorceress powers came to you. And she is a comforting sight in your dreams. Your normal chaotic dreams that we would all have, for you, when she appears, everything comes into focus. And it gives you a little bit of, the next day, usually you feel like you have a nice, strong purpose. It usually lasts for a few days. So it's a wonderful sight. You know what's happening when it happens. She appears to you, and her normal look of comfort looks like a look of concern. And she looks distraught. And she immediately embraces you. And her wings fold out. And you feel as you would have felt in your mother's arms.
Am I in this dreamscape? Am I in like my angel form, or am I in like my? Are we both angel things? Because I have the turn to an angel thing. Am I an angel thing?
It's not always the same.
Am I an angel thing now?
No.
Okay.
You feel relatively small. You actually, your form, if you look at yourself, you're younger than you normally are. You're a young boy, preteen, when she hugs you. And it just sort of, it varies where your mind is at the time, where your subconscious is.
This is hot.
Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. It's not weird. You guys don't make out. She just holds you and she doesn't say anything for a moment.
Sound weird?
And then she pulls you back. She pulls back from you. She looks in your eyes. I've seen something. I've had direction given. I see two paths before you. And she looks incredibly concerned. As much as a diva can look concerned, she's not going to cry. They don't cry.
Show me.
All I have is broken riddles. I don't know what they mean. It's not a gift that I have. And I can't make sense of it. It's as if the truth is blocked and shrouded from me. But I feel that it's going to be significant. And I wish I could tell you more. All I know is that you'll have to draw the river. And if you draw the river from plain or from stone, we will continue on our path together. But you will bring the doom of enslavement to the world. If you draw a river from forest or sky, you will be lost.
I should be writing all of this down.
She's like, you really should. That's probably... I didn't think to do that.
River from stone and what?
Can I finish with my emotional
Soliloquy?
Yeah. Then we can...
She does sound like a pop diva. Like that's
Tree or sky? Yeah. Bad.
If you draw a river from forest or sky, you will be lost. But you will set upon a path to bring freedom to the world. And she kind of pulls back from you. I don't need. Your path is your own. If I never see you again, I hope you will not fall the shadow. And you wake up.
Sweet. All right. So forest and sky, bad. Rock and what?
Specifically, if you draw a river,
yeah,
draw a river from plain or stone.
Plain or stone.
You will continue on your path together. But you will bring the doom of enslavement to the world. So that's kind of bad.
Continue, but slaves.
No. We might not be slaves. Enslavement's only bad on one end of that. The other end is good.
No, enslavement is always bad.
No.
Well, regardless. And if you draw a river from forest or sky, you will be lost. But you will also be set upon a path that to bring freedom to the world. Which is an odd thing. So she was super helpful.
No, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a point in the adventure where I'm going to use this information. That's usually what happens
probably
when
not.
Kalhata comes a calling.
That's true. She does. She actually rarely. This is not a thing she does. She doesn't ever give you riddles or set you upon a path. She usually just gives you guidance. So this is a very odd thing. And if it weren't for the fact that you're so used to the feeling you have when she appears in your dreams, you would almost think that it was normal. Like your rational mind is like, that's not normally what she does, but it feels like it was her.
Don't you wish you had a nightcap that when you sleep gives you pleasant dreams?
So you wake up. You are the first awake of your companions.
I awake. Is it dark or light?
It is. You have dark vision. You can see. It is.
You bet I do.
You super have dark vision. It is just barely light out. It is early morning. You notice both Selwyn and Corsic are still sleeping. Selwyn sleeping super comfortably, super soundly. Big old smile on his dumb face.
Big old smile, a little snot bubble.
I don't know. Do you have snot bubble snores? No snot bubbles. You don't see Barney's. He was sleeping there too, but it looks like he's not asleep.
Is the barn door open?
No, it is closed.
So I'll get up and like kind of open the barn door and look out and see if I can see Bernie's.
No, you see kind of the path you came into town. After a few moments, you do see a few shapes of people walking around, so it's not so early that people haven't started their day. But you don't see him.
That makes me uncomfortable. Cool. All right, I'll close the door. Am I still tired?
No, it's not a crazy hour. You went to bed at a reasonable time.
I only walked all day.
You didn't stay up late.
Cool. All right. I'll start waking up my companions so we can get our day going.
Sure.
I'll wake you up first.
All right.
Corsic!
I'll go ahead and get up. Where's Barney's?
Oh, he was here when I went to sleep. He's not here now, and he's not outside.
Well, hopefully he started on his way back to Waterdeep.
Hopefully, I will now go wake up the dwarf from his pleasant dream. But I will do so because I figure considering that Selwyn always has pleasant dreams, like when you wake him up too suddenly, he gets cranky. So this will be like a light like.
Someone doesn't get cranky when you wake them up.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, in that case, wake up.
Yeah.
Is he just always cranky?
Oh, that's a secret.
He's never cranky.
That's a secret. He's always cranky.
He's happy-go-lucky.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
so I wake you up.
Morning.
Morning. Let's go find some artifacts.
Let's get some breakfast first.
Cool. To Harmon House.
You go right back to Harmon House and get breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I presume they're up.
You go to the Harmon House.
Sure.
Do you knock on the door?
Is there lights on? Is there candlelight inside or something? Fire? Has the hearth been started?
Give me a perception check. Oh, you don't see any smoke coming out of anything.
Perception, eh?
Mm-hmm.
How about an 11?
Sure thing. No, you don't see any evidence of a hearth or light inside. No smell of food.
Do I hear any noises inside? Do I hear them like getting up and getting dressed and doing things that I guess medieval people
You do not.
Is the door unlocked?
You go to check the door.
Yeah.
It is not unlocked.
All right. I open the door.
Okay.
No, you don't.
No,
We don't just break into people's houses.
It's not breaking in, it's unlocked.
no, I don't think you do because Ramsey said specifically it is not unlocked.
No, I did say it incorrectly. It is not locked.
Oh, okay. Then
It
yes.
is unlocked.
Then yes, you are able to open it without a check.
Yeah.
What? You check the door? It is unlocked.
Don't be confused by his double negative speech.
I open the door.
You open the door. You see inside. It's a relatively small house, one of the larger ones in the town. Though you see both Harmon and his wife standing there, and they turn at you when you walk in, and you see his wife Ilham, I believe is her name. She when she sees you open the door, she moves over and she walks towards the hearth, and she starts starting it up.
We don't mean to wake you.
Oh no, we were up. It was Harmon. I don't have a good voice for Harmon.
You don't have any voices.
No, there's no voices.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm the only one with voices.
But not sayings. Sorry.
Okay, cool. Is there any way we can help?
No, we are fine. What can we do for you?
We were wondering if we could trouble you for a little breakfast before we went off on our journey.
Certainly, we are glad to help.
Excellent.
It will just take a while for my wife to make up a morning pot of porridge.
Sweet, I love porridge. All about porridge.
So she does. She makes porridge. They eventually put it together in some bowls for you. You get a nice hearty breakfast of porridge. That's pretty much it. Is there anything else? She asked if you want eggs or anything like that.
That won't be necessary.
Oh, I'm not going to trouble you for anything that you're not... I will not trouble you for a special breakfast.
Okay. So they say okay, and they yank you porridge. Any other conversations you want to broach with Harmon or his wife?
No, I just didn't want to start off a long trip
Without
on an
any
empty stomach.
food. Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm waiting for you to try to rob them.
We already established that they don't have anything
Oh, yeah, that's right.
to
Yeah.
take.
All right. So
I'll
thank them for the food.
As we're out of it, who were we to trouble for a boat out to the ruins?
We already have a boat. And we already made arrangements.
Do we already make arrangements?
Harmon confirms that there should be a boat prepared for you, and if
Yeah.
need be, there should be someone there.
Cool. Well, I'm intelligence 9, so. So all right, cool. So let's go.
Okay, so you head towards the bridge where the dork where the boat was docked. I think Selwyn has actually you explored the town. I think you're the only one who kind of looked around. So you know that the bridge leads over this creek or this bit of swamp water, and I guess you would call it a river of some kind. And then up a hill beyond the bridge is where you saw the little shrine, and that's where you notice Barney's. He's kind of
Is it the shrine?
You can see him kind of crouched up on this top of this hill. This little looks like a wooden shrine, maybe some stone there, and he's just kind of looks like he's kind of crouched down, or like actually in more like a cross-legged position. He's got like a book out, and he's writing furiously in it, and he's looking around. Then you see him get up, kind of shuffle himself to his feet, and walk around the shrine. Look at it some more.
Is that the shrine that I looked at the day before?
Yeah, you didn't actually go. Yeah, you did. I think you did check it out. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to go back if Barney's is there.
Sure.
I'll go with him.
Okay.
Hey, get this boat ready.
Sure.
There is somebody. You see that it's already been kind of prepped. There are oars in it, and there's also a pole, so like a long 10-foot pole.
Yep.
And it's tied up by rope. It looks like it's ready to go. There is someone near the boat, another villager that you don't know, that's standing there, just kind of looking at it and looking at you as you approach it, but doesn't greet you really, just kind of nods. So the two of you go up to Barney's. He hasn't really noticed you as you walk up.
Good morning.
Oh, hey, good morning. How are you? How are you? How you doing? What's up?
Pretty good. You sound better than you did yesterday.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back to Waterdeep soon. Just adding information, just learning things. So that's neat. And,
what did you learn?
I'm trying to understand this shrine a bit. It's just something about it.
I've not seen one like this before. Who's it dedicated to?
That is a great question, because Ramsey forgot to already what this shrine was supposed to be for. So bear with me, because I am the best at running D&D, and I have this super prepped, and I was absolutely ready for this. It's okay. It's fine. I don't have it prepped. So
It's to Dart.
it is not to Dart.
It's to Tiamat.
Hopefully not.
It's to Satan.
Is it to
No, it's problematic because
ominous?
I had.
Is it too ominous? Is it too benign? Is it too weird?
It's to Agua.
No, it's to the other piece of paper. Here we go. I got it. I did write it down. I was
Osiris.
prepped. Okay. Yes.
Oh, hold on a second. This is where you cut back. Right here. And go.
Well, the shrine is dedicated to Eldath. And it's interesting. It's just not really well kept.
How long is it old?
Who's Eldath?
Eldath is the god of the deity of peace.
Mm-hmm.
She is in fact, she's your god, is she?
Yes.
Chandler, you're not here.
It's too bad. Well, you can hear this you could probably make it. Give me a perception check if you want to see if you overhear it. They're not that far away.
I'd probably call out to him.
Plenty.
Plenty?
Yeah, that's gonna be a 22.
18. Yeah,
It's a
you're
22.
good. You're good. Yeah, you can hear. They're pretty loud. It's a quiet morning, so
The boat's an eye shot from where they are, right?
yes, just you could see
Yeah.
the
So
top of the hill.
I'll walk up there.
Sure.
Cool. How old is it? Like, is it just super freaking old?
I mean, no. I mean, you can see that it's not a very elaborate shrine. I mean, this is mostly wood carvings with kind of like a stone space structure support. I mean, it's appropriate. It's just weird that it's nice they have this here. It's just weird that they don't take care of it properly.
Does it look to be in the style of Tarmus's scrimshaw carving?
Give me a perception roll. I suppose that would be it. Or
That is a 11.
I'm not sure perception was right, but that was a low roll regardless. No, it doesn't appear to be reminiscent of that. It's very basic. It has all the it has the iconography. Everything looks appropriate and fine for the shrine. You don't know much about.
But it doesn't look like it's carved in the same style.
No, his scrimshaw is extremely elaborate.
Okay.
And has a very particular. The subject matter is very particular as well. In general, this doesn't have that. It's the iconography of the what is it? The waterfall that falls into like a clear, like
A still pool?
Yeah. So it looks appropriate, and to you, it just looks like an old shrine or like a typical village shrine. Maybe it's not like you didn't really encounter a lot of them where you're from.
But
you might have, but there's just different materials up north.
Barnes, do you have any thought as to why a village would go through the trouble of erecting a shrine, but then let it fall to ruin?
I mean, it's possible that they've fallen on hard times, which appears to be the case. So maybe they stopped praying. But I mean, it's a goddess of peace. I mean, I would understand maybe if they've made peaceful overtures and then that didn't work out, that they lost faith, possibly. But then maybe you would pray more for peace if you were having violence.
But if she's a goddess of peace and they stopped, wouldn't that mean that war came? Like, she's a goddess of peace, not the goddess of fertility. It's not like they stopped having babies, so clearly she's not around.
I mean, it's possible that maybe things have just been so peaceful they haven't bothered. It is odd. I think it's odd that they built a whole shrine here. I mean, it's interesting. I'm just making note of it. I'm not trying to start anything. It's just odd and it's interesting. I like shrines, or I'm trying to figure out. He kind of starts to mumble to himself a little bit. I'm just trying to figure out my path, and I'm trying to find a subject that I can focus on.
Did you already eat breakfast?
No, I'll probably get some rations. Tarmus and the villagers, Tarmus said that he'd go ahead and have somebody escort me back to Waterdeep, and I'll be leaving shortly. That's why I wanted to get up early. I noticed the shrine earlier, and I just wanted to check it out and add some info to my book.
Hey, you want to go on a boat trip?
He's like, you guys, you going on a trip? You doing is that the job?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I have to tell Tarmus that I don't need, the assistance back.
Sure.
I don't know if...
Go do that.
Sure. It's awesome. Yeah. And he kind of straightens himself up, and he's like, all right, you guys leaving like now?
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
In a short bit.
All right. Give me a persuasion check, John.
I don't do that well.
No. Well, he kind of got... Mm-hmm.
That's a 12.
Okay. He's like, okay. He seems a little confused because he's been kind of pulled in various different directions emotionally. You definitely... but he kind of decides, kind of closes up his book, looks at the shrine once more, and he starts heading down the hill.
If I start doing push-ups while I do it, can I make that an athletics check instead of a persuasion roll?
Yeah, that's absolutely how the game works.
So as soon as he's out of earshot,
Mm-hmm.
you are flippity floppity on this boy.
So I guess we're leaving before he gets back.
Yeah.
I think I could outrun him.
Oh. He wants him to be a
Scapegoat, yes.
yeah.
A scapegoat. I think I want him. I think he'd be useful for disarming traps.
That's not a good way to use people.
That's your job.
Aside from the dilapidated nature of the shrine, does it look typical for what it is?
You can give me a perception or religion check because it is your god, and you can have advantage on this.
Sure, I'll do a religion check, although I'm not as good at those. That'll be a 15.
Okay. You think that the choice of material for this kind of area is probably appropriate. The bit of natural wood seems okay, so it would be an appropriate shrine. The fact that it is not being cared for at all
Right.
just rubs you the wrong way 100%. It seems very strange, and it's in a prominent position, so it's not like they just threw a shrine somewhere in the town out of the way. They put it up on a hill
Right.
that's fairly visible. There's no temple anywhere, obviously, but
Yeah, this only deepens the unease I've been feeling with the way these villagers have been acting.
Mm-hmm.
They've been very strange, almost like they're missing some kind of emotion to them.
yeah, you don't have anything. It feels off to you, but it definitely looks like it's appropriate,
Right.
and you don't know if...
At some point, it was being cared for. It was obviously erected here, and it looks like it was put in a place of reverence. So,
It was.
yeah. So the fact that it's fallen out of use is...
You don't
Concerning.
know... Anyone here can give me a nature check.
Sure, I can.
probably
I can
works.
try that.
Maybe nature.
Oh, I got an 18.
13.
11.
Okay. So as you're mulling over, you don't think that it was taken care of for at all.
No, it was
You don't
just.
think the wood is that old.
Oh, so this is
You just
recently
think
erected.
that it was like it based on when it was erected. It looks like it never, like no one actually bothers to take care of it. That would be your guess. The wood is just completely rotted and uncared for and dilapidated, and none of the symbols and none of the arrangements of stones, things have kind of slid out of place. It's there, it's functional. If it was an abandoned shrine, you would understand that, but it doesn't look like
It looks like it was made and then left.
it doesn't look an old shrine. It looks like a relatively new shrine. Probably from the past, you would think less than 10 years.
Yeah.
Probably even significantly less than 10 years. So you can't pinpoint it.
How old is the town?
That's what I'm thinking. Has this town been here a while? Do the buildings look in similar shape?
We talked to Thomas about like this town last time, but I don't think we ever talked about how long the town had been here.
Well, you had not ever really heard of this town. When you got the job, you had to ask around, and people had heard about it. It is called New West Harbor. So apparently it's a town that had been refounded at some point, but no one really knew when it was founded. It's just kind of the few people talked about. I was like, yeah, I've heard about that, but you were not able to determine any sort of specific history for the town prior to taking the job.
Cool. So before this dude gets back, are we dipping before this dude gets back, or are we?
Let's get in the
No, it's
boat.
Corsic. What is the appropriate offering?
The appropriate offering. So out of character, if I remember, I don't remember there being one. I remember her being relatively low maintenance as far as offerings go. It's pretty much just a place to go and reflect, because typically a city would put aside a natural pool where people could go and reflect and then leave, but no real material offering or anything.
Tis God, man.
All right. So I put a coin on the altar to cover my bases.
But that was me checking. Is that correct?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, there would not be anything.
Yeah. So I'll regale that to you as a.
She
Of course.
normally doesn't do tributes.
No, there's no tributes necessary. Just reflection.
Cool.
All right. So when I pull out the coin, like just in case.
Just in case two of your pages were stuck together.
I missed that page.
Yeah. Cool. So let's get in the boat.
So you all pile into the boat.
Yep. I'll say a quick
and-
prayer and
just
head off to the
after
boat.
Just teasing.
No, we need to wait for Barney's.
If we don't,
Why do we need to wait for Barney's? You need to make this case to us.
if we take him, he's going to die.
And I'm afraid that is your point.
So he might die. But I'm getting a weird feeling from this place. I'm willing to take these people's money. But he's probably going to die here too.
Not if he leaves. Right now, you telling him to come with us is making him stay longer than he would otherwise.
The squirrel doesn't ask for help from the wolf.
I'm going to quote a dwarf who is wiser than I am. If he comes along, you feed him, you take care of him. Cool. He sits in the front of the boat.
So you're gonna wait for
Yeah.
Barney's to return. Okie doke. He comes. You see him shuffle back, and he looks a little dejected when he comes back. He's like, hey, I'm actually not gonna go with you guys.
Why?
Well, I talked to Tarmus and then about that I wasn't gonna need his services, and he was super fantastic about it. He's really pleasant. But I also mentioned that I was kind of interested in the shrine, and he offered to kind of to set me up here, and I could to follow up on that and do more research if I wanted. So that's nice. I mean, I don't have to. I've got free room and board. I can start on my project. I can maybe start researching shrines, which would be great to have a catalog of how different.
I would like to roll insight on this dude.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's meta or not, but
No?
I mean, it's not super unusual for him to be trying to find anything to attach himself to.
Garbage?
this looks good to me. This dude is just as inept as he seems.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and try. I think that if I believe that's something I'm actually good at.
It'd be wisdom, my brother.
Not this time. 8.
He is just a mystery wrapped in an enigma.
It feels like I should roll as well.
Sure.
What the hell was I rolling?
Insight, you're
Insight,
right,
wisdom.
we're on.
That's a 16.
16. I mean, he's seen some sincere.
Oh, I don't care. Sure. Don't let the cannibals eat you.
He looks at you strangely, makes an insight check. Okay.
I will say, so Barney's. I know that you were thinking about being an adventurer for a while, and I don't know about the guys that you were with before, but we're freaking A-grade adventurers here. We've done all sorts of stuff, and we've been on all sorts of adventures. If you have any iota of wanting to be an adventurer in the future or competent,
We're in the boat, right?
we're getting in the boat.
Yeah.
I'm actually waiting for him to get I'm waiting for him to get I would implore you to come with us.
I take the
push pull?
yeah.
He, as you're saying that, and he's looking at you intently and hearing your words, and they're sinking in. Selwyn just kind of takes the pole and pushes the boat off the bank, and you start kind of drifting away. Does anyone take a paddle?
Yes.
In the boat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take a paddle.
Okay. And he's like, I mean, I will probably head back to Waterdeep relatively soon. So if you make it back, and you'll most likely be at the Temple of Ogma. I'm not sure which one though. And he kind of like awkwardly.
I hate this guy.
So
Awkwardly like.
how's the boat look?
He says after he shoves off.
The swamp.
Is it actively leaking?
It is not actively leaking. This boat is in fine shape.
I wish I took gusts. I could just do a little airboat, like we said last time.
Okay. You could do that. Would you just paddle?
But a swamp. I want to go over the. I don't know. I've never been in a swamp.
It's not an airboat. It's not a flat bottom. It definitely one thing it is actually it's a bit wide, so it will be able to navigate relatively shallow water, but not extremely shallow swamp water. You still have that's what the pole's for, and you still may have to pull yourself through. Hopefully, based on the directions and the rough map that you were given, it looks like there's some relatively deep water. You just have to be aware of dead ends and the different water levels and stuff like that.
So who is good at navigating?
It would be a survival check. So what I would like is I would like to find out who is navigating, who is paddling,
I will be in the middle of the boat.
and who is...
So, my survival skills are not the best, but they're adequate.
I'm pretty good at walking through, the hinterlands and stuff like that. But this stuff here, I don't know what the hell this is. So
All right.
I'm not built for swamps.
I'll go ahead and step up.
You're
On a boat.
You're gonna navigate.
Sure.
All right, then I will row.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll take the anchor position.
Okay. And you're going to sit in the middle and do nothing?
You also row. You just,
yeah. There's the 3 paddles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's only 2 paddles.
Oh, well, I'll have the pole. Whenever we get to a spot where we need to pull, I'll pull.
That's what he's doing.
Oh.
That's what the navigator does.
I will be on the lookout for dangers.
No, you are also
paddle.
rowing.
But there's only 2. Okay, so you're just.
He's not paddling.
Oh. Okay.
I have a pole.
He's at the front of the ship, kind of directing where you're going, telling you one person to...
All right.
So I like that you're calling it a ship.
I like how he's the guy in the gondola that sings, and we're the guys in the gondola that make out.
I can do that.
Oh, soul amigo.
Oh my goodness, you can. Okay. So what I would like you to do, number 1, are you going to be singing? Are you going to be able to resist the urge, or are you going to eventually start?
I'm going to bring up the fact. I'm going to say what my character's going to say what I said. Oh, you're the guy in the boat who sings, and we're the guys in the boat that make out.
That's an odd cultural reference.
No, they do.
It wouldn't immediately.
Is there not a single city or town or whatever that where with romantic? Yeah, exactly.
You're from the north, though.
That's right. So I read books. No, not
they do
many,
have
but
boats. Maybe that's a thing.
I've been to Waterdeep. People talk about things.
I'll write R.A. Salvador, and we'll find out. We'll find out if that's a thing that happens up in 10 towns.
How about a little less chatting and a little bit more rowing?
I believe I'm rowing adequately.
I would like both of you. I want a couple rolls. I need both of you to give me strength athletic checks, and Andrew, I would like Corsic to give me a survival natural one. Nice. I would like you to give me a survival check.
Would you like a performance check as well?
That's an 8.
I don't need a performance check.
What,
Oh well.
what if rather than the strength athletics checks, it's some sort of con check to keep going?
just strength athletics.
Do I have advantage because I'm so practiced at rowing?
Well, that's a 6 on the
don't believe
survival,
you're
but
rowing,
an
you're
11 on a
paddling.
performance.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So
it's great.
almost immediately he starts singing. You're having you sit down. You're all pretty burly guys.
I am not.
It's a pretty burly dwarf and a skinny northern boy.
Thank you.
You're doing that wrong.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong.
No, you're doing that wrong. You got to go that way, and I'll go that way.
Yeah,
You can go straight.
Actually, we're both doing it wrong because I ended up rolling a 3.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
We are going in circles.
Yeah, you're fighting against each other.
We're just a
You try to
singing
You're confused. You're
within
confused.
eyesight of the town.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're doing real good out there. You see, yeah. Those are the guys for the job.
Yeah, you still see Barney's like looking at you like still like, yeah, they saved my life, and they just
Didn't we get a map?
you did, but your total roll was a 9.
No, that was lower than that.
Oh, okay, miserable, horrible.
It was a
survival
6.
check.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. So you do get turned around. He's just singing. You're not paying attention. You run into deep muck more than once. You end up in a few dead ends, and you realize you should have been checking the map, and you haven't been checking the map. It's hard to make sense. You're in a swamp.
Everything looks the same.
Yeah, the early morning cool air turns into a muggy summer sweatbox pretty quickly. And you're not really sure. It feels like it shouldn't be this unseasonably warm, but it is. And you eventually get yourself. You think you feel you're on course, and you're heading in the direction. You're out there for hours, redirecting. It feels like you found yourself. Okay, this seems right. You think it seems right. If you just go down this little area here between that bunch of trees, and I think we can get through this way. And then you hear a buzzing. Like it's distant at first.
Wasn't me.
And then you hear it get louder. And you see several shapes kind of descend from the trees. And they look like mosquitoes, but of unusual size.
Mouses?
And I would like they look hungry, and I would like you guys to go ahead and roll initiative.
Do we recognize what these are?
They're giant mosquitoes.
Oh.
Oh man, this guy is not.
They do not have them where you come from.
I see.
So, Bedouin.
I got a 22.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Selwyn.
7. That is also good.
Corsic.
A 14.
All right. And poor old Selwyn. Okay. So, Bedouin, you see at least 3 of these things coming out from they're perched on a tree, a bunch of trees above you, and they come towards you, and they definitely look like large mosquitoes, buzzing. And you know what a mosquito is.
I do. Good.
So your assumptions
Yeah.
would be that they're probably going to try to suck your blood.
They're the national bird up there.
What are you going to do?
Well, I'm probably going to cast a spell. I am going to. So everybody sees these things too, right? We're all like we all like have a second where we like look at each other and we're like bum.
Yeah, they're not trying to stealth ambush you.
Good. In that case, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Go right ahead. You don't have to roll. bumped your AC up.
Yeah. My AC is now 17.
Okay.
My AC is now acceptable, I should say.
Okay.
And would it be a move action or an action to attempt to row effectively? Excuse me, paddle effectively.
What are you trying to do?
I want to continue I basically want to aid in the continuation of our movement, of the boat movement.
Yeah, you would have had to have paused to cast Mage Armor.
Yeah, but we're still moving. So
Right, and then you're just gonna
mid-stroke and be like, "Foom," and then keep going.
Sure.
That's the sound it makes.
Right. You don't think you'll outrun them based on how you've been rowing.
That's fine, but like I can't run.
You can't run, but you want to try to keep.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is I want to give me a strength athletics check, even though this would be considered an action to make a roll, but I just want to know because we're gonna see what's going on.
17.
Fantastic. All right.
I wanted to see John's face when he saw it to judge on how I was doing.
Ooh. Elves are particularly tasty. So,
How many mosquitoes?
you see 3 of them descending towards you.
Okay.
There may be more in the trees, but you haven't checked to see if there was more in there. One of them comes floating towards you, but they're sort of weirdly rebuffed by your magical protection. One just comes on near Selwyn and he just kind of bats it away. It can't make a purchase. Corsic, you're kind of looking. I don't know what you're planning on doing. What were you planning on doing? Because what happened was a mosquito landed like full on your chest and just stuck a proboscis right into your neck between the blades of your this pieces of your armor.
Well, I was planning on that not happening.
Yeah, they rolled a natural 20. So
Oh, I see.
that mosquito wanted some elf, some tasty elf. So I don't even roll to hit, and you're gonna take a whole bunch of damage here. Not that much.
At least he only gets a taste of half an elf.
That's not funny.
No, it's
That's supposed
not.
to be a joke.
I'm dying.
I'm dying out here.
You go ahead and take 8 points of damage
Oh my, I am dying.
as it latches onto you. And that's it. Now it's just sucking some blood. Corsic,
All right then.
what are you gonna do now?
I'm gonna pull out my sword and attempt to stab this thing,
Sure.
or swing at it, get it off
Absolutely.
me. That'll be a 12.
Yeah, that does not hit.
Didn't think
You
it would.
swat at it and it just kind of, you can't get a great purchase. You can't stab it. You're afraid of stabbing yourself in the neck. It's on
Yeah.
your neck.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I hate to be the potential prick, but is there going to be a mechanic about trying to keep the bow from capsizing?
I mean, there could be.
Like we're in a canoe and he just stood up.
It's
and
not a
swung
canoe.
an
It's a
axe.
wide boat. So, I mean, there is a potential for that.
Okay.
You don't, at this point, it's less likely capsizing, possible that he would fall off the boat.
Oh, that's much better. That's a much better. No offense, but
Yeah. It seems unlikely unless you get
I got
really.
stuff in here.
Yeah, unless you rebalance. You're sitting down. Someone is pretty low center of gravity.
Because you're short.
So I mean, the little elf, and he weighs a bit, so he would have to potentially make a check. But right now he's fine.
Cool.
All right.
So, yeah.
I'll go ahead and cast Shield of Faith on myself as a bonus action.
Okay.
Yeah. And that'll be it.
Peace be with you.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that specifically do?
It gives me a +2 to my AC for 10 minutes.
Okay. So if another one decides to attach to you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Selwyn.
How big is a giant mosquito? Is it like pigeon size?
It's a little larger than that. It's like a bird of prey, like a vulture size with his wingspan. Of course, the body is significantly smaller than that.
And I'm engaged with one right now?
Yeah, it's buzzing around your head,
Okay.
but it is not. It's yes, it would be considered engaged. If you tried to move away, it would get to attack you.
All right. I am going to shuffle up to Corsic and attempt to snatch the one that's latched onto him off of him.
Okay. Yeah. If you're gonna just try to dash it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just grab it.
Yeah.
And you're able to just pull it right off of Corsic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gonna give it a squeeze. So I make an attack roll.
Yeah, you can roll. Give me a. You can just actually try it. You're just trying to crush it between your fists.
Yes.
Sure. Give me a strength check.
So that's just my strength bonus, right?
Yeah.
So 15.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a 1d4 plus your strength bonus. Strength modifier.
7.
Yeah. You pull it off, and then you just kind of crunch it between your fists. Turns to goop. And that's your action. All right, then. Bedouin.
Okay. So there's one further out as well? Or is there one close?
You only see the 3 that are buzzing about you.
But he just squished one.
He just squished the 1, so there's only 2.
Okay.
One that's about your head, trying to bite at you.
Okay,
And one still bites at one, trying to bite at him.
I kind of want to try this. Just
Actually, to get to him, you'd have to move across from the back of the boat to the front of the boat and then grab it. So I do want you to make an acrobatics check.
Okay.
It's a 16.
You're absolutely fine. Boat gets a little weird. You feel a little bounced, but you're basically, you just have to shuffle past.
Okay. I want to try this because I want to see what happens. So the one that is close to me needs to make a con save.
What are you doing?
I'm casting a spell.
You.
I'm going to cast.
Could you elaborate
Okay, all right.
on the spell that you're casting?
Out of all of the people that you hide information from, the DM is
I'm not
one
hiding.
of them.
I'm not hiding any information.
You also need to show what you're doing,
Yeah.
so everyone knows what's happening.
I'm casting infestation.
All right, so you're summoning a swarm of insects
Yes.
to swarm the insects.
The insect. I want to see what happens.
Sure. All right. So you summon a swarm of smaller mosquitoes, regular mosquitoes,
Normal mosquitoes.
to swarm the large mosquitoes,
Mosquitoes, mayflies, perhaps.
and they have to make a
Con save.
con save. No, it's small mosquitoes. They do not.
They fail.
It fails its con save.
I need my card back so I can see what happens. Sweet. So he takes 3 poison damage and has to bugger off 5 feet to the south.
Okay. So you see out of the lower brush, out of the few feet above the water, a swarm of mosquitoes, which have been dogging you, to be fair. They come.
Finally, they work for me.
Yeah. They swarm this one large mosquito, and they just start irritating the hell out of it, and it just kind of starts trying to swat at it. It doesn't know what to do because that's not what mosquitoes do to other bigger mosquitoes normally. They don't have a choice. Their will has been taken from them, and you see just kind of like and buzz off, and then fall in the water, and you see this big fish.
Sweet.
This fish just immediately just swallow it.
Is it a big fish that is big enough to eat a mosquito but not a person?
It is not. It is a very large fish that could, like a catfish, you would think.
Could it eat a boat?
No.
Good. Don't fall off.
It could possibly cause a boat to capsize if it really got it in its head to do that.
Cool.
You would not assume, though, that it has any desire to capsize a boat.
Cool. As that mosquito falls in the water, I'm going to say, "What's bugging you?"
And then the fish thing happens, and it all kind of gets a little muddy. Like, does that work? Should I make a fish joke?
It's a little swampy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not very smart.
Go fish.
See, you're smarter than I am.
All right. There's one mosquito left. Buzzing one, our dwarf, and he's gonna go. It's gonna head. It's a she.
Is he within is a Selwyn currently within 5 feet of me?
Absolutely. He moved. He's standing right next to you.
All right, then I'm going to go ahead and use my reaction to give him the attacker disadvantage.
That's really good because I had rolled a 19 to hit, and that's a 1. So, nope. It just kind of like you get right. You just move your shield.
Yep.
Right in front. I don't know why your shield was out. Actually,
I don't have my shield out.
Nah.
Yeah, just stick the sword in the way. Get in the way.
Yeah. No.
Ting.
And it's your turn. So go ahead and do what you want to do with this mosquito.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and swing at it. Now that I've... I know it's going to shake the boat, but sometimes you got to rock the boat. That's going to be a 15.
Yep. Absolutely. Strikes
Right.
it.
Right.
I mean, and go ahead and roll your damage, but
Oh, it's going to be a 2.
well, you thwack it. You don't think you even caught it with the edge of the blade, but you thwack it and it goes flying back and then just into the water. And then
Whatever works.
see another fish. And I need you to make an acrobatics check.
All right. I expect this to go poorly. That's an 11.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. Good. Also, thanks for getting that thing off my neck.
No problem. Is there debris floating around in this water?
There
Like
can be.
little sticks and things.
There certainly can be.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
There certainly would be, yes, but not. You can get. What
Right,
do you do with
Bedouin.
your intent?
I just motion at a little stick that's floating around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right. In order for this to go this way, you need to paddle this way, and I need to paddle this way.
All right. Seems smart enough to me.
Sure. You continue on your way, having a little bit better direction, a little bit better coordination. You're able to follow the path you believe that was laid out for you. And in the distance, you think you can make out kind of a shape that doesn't fit the forest. And the swamp kind of widens a bit. And as you do, I need you all to make a perception checks.
24.
8.
10.
Okay. Selwyn. Everyone's kind of like, oh, I think there might be something there. You notice. Everyone's kind of looking, and you kind of notice. You see it too. You're like, yeah, it looks like there's something that might be your destination. But then you notice shapes in the water around you, and they may have been there for a little while. You've been rowing for another hour or so, and they're definitely trying to be stealthy. They're not. They're moving with you, and as your boat kind of pauses and turns and looks, you can see them. They're several yards away. I mean, they're probably a good, most of them about 30 feet away from you.
Okay.
But you can make them out well enough, and they look like at certain intervals you just see like the top of a head, like some sort of crocodile, more like a lizard, like a large lizard with some frills. But you notice that on a few of them, there's like markings or earrings or some sort of accoutrement, some sort of bone thing on it. And then a few spaces where there's land, you can see that there's in like the reeds, these shapes that are on feet and their arms. They look like a humanoid lizard creature. What you strike them, they're all black. Or they have very dark markings on them. All their scales are sheened black, so they're very difficult to see in the swamp water.
Do they look like they're coming closer to us, or are they keeping up with us?
They look like they're keeping up with you. They're not. As you notice them, they don't seem perturbed, or maybe you're just sneaky enough to not look like you notice them.
Yeah.
But they are not aggressively approaching you. You don't know how long they've been following you, but you definitely see them. And it seems like maybe they've gotten a bit closer, or there's more of them. Like all of a sudden you just caught a movement. There's more going on. There's at least a dozen that you can see.
Right. Hey fellas, stay on task, but it looks like we may have roused the welcoming committee.
Care to elaborate about that?
Do we see them now?
You have no idea what someone's talking about.
Yeah.
Where?
Just keep going and everywhere.
Can I make a second perception check to look?
You can take advantage on it.
Oh, that's good. How about a 15?
Same.
15. You rolled what?
24.
24.
Yeah. I mean, there's. You're looking through the kind of the haze, and you're like, I don't know, maybe there might be stuff. You just see like trees and wildlife. You're not able to really make out.
How close are we to where we can land?
You see some movement in the water. There's something there. Like, but you notice like as like everyone, you kind of vocalize.
Yeah.
A lot of them pull back. I mean, you've got your eye on them. You know what to look for, and they're trying to be stealthy. Okay. But when you see them kind of, if you say that look, you see them like some of them duck underwater, and if you move behind the reeds, I mean, you can still catch the movement of them, but they're not. It's not like you don't think you're imagining it. You just think that you've got really keen eyesight, and these guys are dolts.
Okay. How close are we to where we can land the boat?
In just anywhere?
No, like towards our.
You don't know if this is your destination. You know there is a shape that seems a bit odd. You would have to travel several hundred feet to get closer.
All right. I would like to row at the double.
Okay.
I will match his rowing to the best of my ability.
Sure. You at this point you've got a sense of how to move a boat. So yeah, you put your backs into it. You move faster. I'm assuming you're still trying to keep
I am.
an eye on it as best you can.
And if they get close, I'm going to make a point to talk loud.
Okay. All right. They do seem like they're kind of trying to follow you a bit, but after a while they sort of pull back and slink.
Yeah. I'm going to tell stories that like don't make sense, that have random directions.
Sure.
Hey, remember that sausage story with the owl bear to the left?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I do not get any of these.
Like, what do you mean? It ran back into the forest, not to the left of the forest.
Yeah.
I would like.
They completely went over my head.
Go ahead. At a certain point, you feel an odd tingle. All one of you kind of feel an odd tingle, like in the back of your neck, like your hairs kind of stand up a bit, and you feel a little groggy for a moment. I would like you all to make. You just feel odd. It feels like it felt like you passed through something. Like it just has that weird feel, like someone walked over your grave. You passed through something. The air feels different here for a moment.
Like we walked through a cobweb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good descriptor.
Okay.
Ooh.
The little.
That was weird.
Does anything look different?
Give me a perception check.
Sure. 22. Now I roll over. Now I roll over a 10.
You notice on near a few of the trees or like somewhat submerged underwater, you notice odd symbols. Like kind of the several feet down, kind of glowing like on like stone structures. And a few of them in the distance, you can see some things that are sticking out. And they're glowing with some sort of writing. Hard to make out. What? It's a dumb question to ask. You usually know what you have. What languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Elvish, and Dwarvish.
Yeah.
I'll point it out to these two. Either of you two see these? There's markings on these rocky outcroppings.
You can give me. Well, yeah. If you're directly pointing out like one of
I'm
the
not
ones,
being subtle.
Yeah. Then yeah, you can kind of see them. You see some. There is some weird glowing stuff on some of these.
You mean the
stuff.
weird glowing things in the dark water? No, I don't see those.
That's strange because they're right there.
Can I make out there?
What languages do you speak?
Common and Dwarvish.
There's you can't make it out. It's definitely some sort of writing. You feel that it's sort of reminiscent of some of the script is sort of reminiscent of maybe a Dwarvish script, but it seems off. It's not something you've ever seen.
How deep does it seem?
The one that you can see easily in the dark water is probably about 3 feet down, and there might be. You've noticed there are a few further away that look like they might be on things that are above the water.
It's not celestial, is it?
No, it does not seem celestial. Is that the only language you speak?
No, I speak common as well.
Useful. You could give me a religion or history check, possibly. And you can actually give me a religion check if you want.
Sure.
That's fine.
I got a 16 on history.
5.
You think that this might be some like, and this seems very odd because you don't see this stuff anywhere. Primordial. It doesn't, like, you don't see primordial writings. When you talk about primordials, we're talking about an age when before anything, when gods and primordials existed together and warred. Primordials are legends you hear about.
Where does primordial stuff come from?
Before time.
Okay.
They are sometimes considered to be connected to the elements, the elemental planes, but that's actually not. That's a misnomer. The primordials are like, if we were going to step back outside of, if we were going to metagame or do a little meta and to table talk it, if you were to talk about like the Greek gods and the Titans, that sort of origin story conflict, that's the role that primordials fall into. Sometimes they're tied to elements. Other times they're tied to concepts. they're like gods, but very different beings.
Kind of like the raw stuff of the world.
Yes, that is the idea. They are less inclined to they don't fit with our reality and our concepts. They're not like the Titans necessarily, but in some way some of them are perceived that way. Some of them are elemental primordials. They're early concepts, and concepts that are usually not really tied to what people want. People tend to bend to them, whereas the gods seem to kind of bend to what society needs. Primordials would not, but they're also gone. There may be some slumbering somewhere, but you would not see primordial writing like this. It would not be common.
That's some old shit.
Or even rare. It would be super rare.
What are our friends doing?
You still see they're still kind of dogging you a bit, but they're still keeping their distance. Eventually, I mean, as you kind of stop, they kind of pull back.
So we get to the bank.
Well, you were investigating when they got close to the symbol. Are you done?
Yes.
Seeing the symbol. Okay. So you're moving up towards when you say a bank.
Towards our destination.
Okay. Your destination isn't going to have a bank, FYI.
Okay.
So you do paddle closer to your destination, and I need you to make. I think you're actually. You know what? You guys are on high alert at this point. So, as you near your destination, you start seeing shapes that do look like structures. You see a relatively large structure coming out of the water, which looks like some sort of temple, like an entrance. Like it looks like a building. And then just dips down in the water, and then it's inky blackness. You see a few other structures kind of at various levels of disrepair, crumbling up in a uniform distances from the central structure. And behind the central structure, you see a large, like a spire, almost like a pointed, comes to an ornate pointed top in the distance. This is all a general shape. But as you see this shape and you come close to it, you can hear noises. It sounds like some sort of conflict, but it sounds like between animals, a lot of hissing, a lot of weird guttural noises, and shouts and growls coming from the more or less the central structure, but you can't really make out any shapes at it from this at this point.
Is that the direction that we're headed in?
That is, you were assuming this would be what you're looking for, is some sort of.
All right.
And it definitely doesn't look normal. Doesn't look like it should be built in a swamp. Certainly.
Some sort of infighting between our friends.
Well, this will be fun.
Okay. So what do you do?
Continue going.
Straight up.
Straight towards it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are you trying to be stealthy at all in your approach?
I'm not sure how stealthy we can be, given that we're already been seen.
Well,
I am more concerned with being expeditious than I am stealthy.
I'm trying to keep Corsic from singing again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Give me a wisdom saving throw to see if you sink. No, you don't have to.
I would like to roll up a persuasion check or an intimidation check.
Mysterious noises coming in the distance.
As you approach, you're able to get you see there's the central structure is raised up.
I don't picture you singing that. I just picture you. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? All right, say that thing again.
It's all right. I'm turning Corsic into a frog person. At some point.
He's got a green tabard now. It turns out.
Yeah. You can see as you make out some of the central structure here that it definitely appears to be some sort of temple. The lines have curves that come out into sharp, like, points, unnecessary points, and you can make out what appears to be a series of steps that just drop right into the water. Clearly, whatever this temple is, it is not a floating temple. It's bare. It's submerged. And it's at what you can tell as you're close to this, it looks like everything's on an angle. Like it did not seed itself properly into the land. It's not like everything came up around it, or if it did, the foundations were disrupted. You can make out several shapes, beings on like this central area. They are lizard creatures, lizard folk, much like you saw before. They seem to be engaged or fending off what appear to be like a swarm of large spiders. It's hard for you to make out specifically how many lizard folk there are, but there's quite a few, probably 3 or 4 that you can see.
Is this this is something that I think someone would know because his vice is gambling on sport. Is this sport or combat?
It is combat. They are not.
Okay.
They looks like they are dealing with these spiders that are a nuisance.
All right.
That is all
Cool.
you see.
When I get to a point where I can shoot it, I'm shooting a spider.
Okay. Are you rowing or are you shooting a spider?
No, I want to like stop him from raising his crossbow.
Okay.
Why don't you call out to them?
Call it to the fish people.
Yeah.
Lizards.
They're
Lizard people?
busy. I want to shoot a spider.
No. This is like a cockfight with these spiders, yeah?
No,
No,
just
he
asked
just said
that.
it was.
It's combat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're fighting the spiders.
Yeah.
They are fighting the spiders.
Yeah.
They're killing spiders. Spiders might be killing them. It's hard to see. But there's a lot of spiders.
I mean, we don't really know who if
We don't know what the situation is here.
Correct.
It's not the spiders, all right? I'm not... As soon as I get to a point where I can shoot a spider, I'm shooting a spider.
Yeah, what's your range on the crossbow again?
It is... I think...
Well, the minimum range and the range, there should be 2 ranges. You should be your range where you don't have a disadvantage, and then the range where you have a disadvantage.
it
I
is.
believe it was like
you know what?
40 or 30 or something like that.
3120.
Yeah. So to get within 30 feet, you're not at 30 feet. You can easily drift within 120 feet and take a shot from there. You would have to make yourselves get closer. So you'd have to, if someone's going to fight you as far as the boat's motion is concerned, it'd be hard to get within 30 feet. So what is the intent of the party? Someone is not driving the boat.
Sure.
So I just need to know if everyone's on board
All
with
we
this
have before
movement.
he fires off a.
I'm not normally one to espouse combat, but that stops when it comes to insects and mindless creatures. So we need to keep going and hopefully find. It sounds like they're fighting on dry land.
Yes, it is on. They're actually on what would be there's like a platform entranceway to a temple of some sort. There's an
right.
obvious.
It seems like we need to
So-
go there.
Yeah, this looks like
This
is where we need to be, and I don't
potentially-
want to fight in a boat.
Yeah, if that is the case, if like I can't get a good shot off, if I know I can't get a good shot off, I'm going to again try to row at the double to get to where we need to land.
But you're like the peace paladin, right?
I know.
So-
I'm not talking about fighting the lizard people, but if there's spiders, then we can try and take them out, and maybe that'll ingratiate us slightly.
I would still call out to them if I were you, but I'm more gruff than that.
Okay, so what we have at this situation right here is we have this central part of this structure partially emerged from the water, and an entryway where you see these lizard folk fighting these spiders. Arranged, some submerged, some not, are what appear to be other portions of this temple. Some crumbling, some obviously with water entering into the structure, and then further beyond there is a tall spire. I would like you to all give me perception checks. Someone is focused.
18.
Okay. Nothing useful.
I've been hit or miss.
Yeah. You do see the only thing that you're kind of make out is that the tall spire with the odd shape on the top.
Right.
It does look like it is partially broken and crumbled, where it's hard for you to know for sure, but it does appear hollow, and it's about you would say 60 feet above the water, above the water line specifically. Maybe a little bit higher than that. It's hard to really judge the tip of the spire, but that hole is about 60 feet up, if it is a hole.
All right. So yeah.
So that's what you have. You're rapidly approaching this conflict, and I think if we're going to take our break, we should take a break here.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay. So you rapidly approach this landing, this sunken temple entrance, and of course, like you said, you wanted to shout out. I think you're going to have an opportunity to shout out before you're in optimal firing range. So you can go ahead and announce if you wish to do so.
I'm just trying to think about what to even say to these things. I don't know if they speak our language, but I'll go ahead and shout out in common. Hello there. Do you need assistance?
Okay. A couple of them like raise their little lizard heads and kind of hiss towards your direction, but they make no obvious action or motion to indicate that they do or do not understand you.
Yeah, but it's not like half of them keep fighting the spiders and the other half peel away to sit on the shore and wait for us with weapons.
No, but they are aware of you.
Okay.
The spiders seem like somewhat more than a nuisance to them.
Okay.
All right. So you power forward,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of, and when you feel that you're getting close to optimal range, you sort of take one hand off the paddle, and you ready your shot, steady your shot.
So, do I have to do that before? Like, is that the first opportunity that I get, or do I get to dismount from the boat and then shoot?
Oh, so you don't want to shoot? You want to get on land?
That is the point. Like, I would like to pick up the pace so that we're shooting from land. But if that's not
No, it's
reasonable.
Up to you. It's as reasonable as anything else.
Yeah.
So you just want to keep going until you come right up on these. I'm assuming the steps, the submerged steps, would be the way you'd want to approach. Just come right up from the steps.
Till we can get on something solid.
Okay. All right. You power up and you slide right in there, and you kind of the boat kind of clunk against the steps, and you have nothing really to necessarily secure it to. But do you leap from the boat and make an attack?
I do leap from the boat.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check.
Oh, this is the wrong die. It's one that I picked up. Oh, that's a lot. It's 24.
Yeah, you definitely hop off the boat and keep your footing.
Yep.
And the rest of the boat kind of shakes and slides a little bit from the weight of the dwarf moving off of it.
Yeah.
More of the boat.
More to what?
So you can go ahead and take a shot at a spider at this point, and then
Okay.
I'll have you roll, I guess, initiative, because you seem like you want to engage in combat with a ridiculous amount of enemies.
So I take the shot at the spider first or initiative first?
Go ahead and take the shot at the spider.
It's probably going to hit. I roll a 19.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely hits.
Is this an undead spider?
It isn't. You don't know. Doesn't look like it.
Ooh. 7, and then I add dex to that too, right? Yeah. 10 points of damage on the spider.
All right. You shooting at one of the ones that looked like it was engaged in one of the guys, or one of the ones kind of on
I'm
the
shooting
side of
at
the building?
whatever is the closest thing to shoot at.
Okay. So you take a shot at one of the spiders kind of in the melee, and it drops. You go thump, and your bolt ethereally returns to your hand crossbow, and the spider just twitches and drops. And they kind of, one of the lizard folk kind of look over at you. You notice as you're now close to these lizards, they are not black scaled. They don't have the same colorations. They're green, brightly. Their scales are shiny and green. They have different model colors on them. They definitely look different. All right, so then I guess I would have you guys roll some initiative for me.
Uh-oh.
That's a nice roll.
I got a 21.
Someone also has a 21.
I go first.
All right, then.
I got a 3.
You sure you go first?
I'm
actually.
I have a higher dex than he does.
I guess that's potentially true. I'm going to go ahead and put Selwyn at the top of the initiative order
That's
because
fine.
he's the one taking initiative here. Okay. And you rolled a what?
I got a 3.
Okay.
You just getting a lay of the land, right?
Yeah, I'm just looking around.
Okay.
I got to figure out how to moor a boat to nothing.
Yes.
So when you
yes, you
see,
do.
You can just pull it up. You can just pull it out. of
Yes,
water.
you're strong.
There's people in the boat.
you
Not by the time,
by the time that you do
you're
things.
acting.
so and there are you can make out 4 lizard folk that are engaged with these spiders. You can see one lizard folk unmoving on the ground like a body. You, as far as the number of spiders here, you can count at a glance. You would say 11.
Okay.
Crawling. You can see them moving in the buildings. Not all of them are engaging in combat, but they certainly are in a predatory stance. They look.
So I prioritize spiders that are with lizard men until they start engaging, getting closer towards us.
Okay. So you can go ahead and take another shot at
Okay.
one of the ones in melee.
That is the 16, 19, 21.
Absolutely hits.
All right. Is this count? Does this my backstab thing work on this thing or not?
Actually, well, I'm going to say yes. You don't know if these lizard folk are allies or not, but they are certainly engaged. I'm going to go ahead and say you count as a backstab.
So that's 3d6. 19 points of damage.
Yeah. You slay that spider. It drops and twitches. Okay. Next up are these. Actually, it's a better one because I was being a jerk and didn't let him go first. So
Yep.
go ahead.
Yeah, it's weird. Sure, whatever.
I feel like you were kind of taking initiative and he wasn't saying anything.
Narratively, he should have gone first. Mechanically, I should have gone first.
Absolutely,
And,
but
when it comes down to that, you get to be God.
I
So
arbitrated the
what the hell do I
narrative,
freaking care?
the narrative part.
I
So go ahead.
don't. I still didn't even know what I really wanted to do. So
I figured.
how many spiders are left?
You can see 9 or 10 that you see. Again, they're not all engaged with the lizard folk. Some of them, you can see them just kind of crawling on the structure.
Okay, so let me explain where this is coming from, right? So Bedouin is from the north. The north are a special type of folk. Has Bedouin ever seen lizard folk before?
It is unlikely that he has.
Okay. So Bedouin understands that this whole adventure is hinging on the fact that something from not our world is coming into our world. And so different rules might apply in different worlds and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Bedouin being kind of a more charismatic character and more like personable guy, is afraid that these giant spiders are actually sentient in some way. He's also dumb. I want to also
He's not that dumb, but he's fine.
He's not heroically intelligent.
He can make some odd leaps of logic.
Correct. So Bedouin would like to analyze and see if there is some sort of pattern of movement or other reactions that these giant spiders are making that may hint that they are even tribal of intelligence.
All right. So how much focused intent are you putting into this task?
An action.
Okay. All right. Then I would like you to give me an insight check. I would say that's a lot of description and thought. So go ahead and give me. You can take advantage on that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That would be an insight is wisdom, so that will be a 15.
Okay. You're definitely outside of your depths at this point. It's too hot. It's supposed to still be cold up north. This is not real cold. It doesn't get real cold here. From what you can gather, you don't know anything about these lizard folk. They seem to be like a tribal. You've dealt with barbarians. You've dealt with people that have a more primitive lifestyle. That seems where these guys seem to fit.
These lizard folk are using tools and they're wearing clothes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The spiders, you know what spiders are. These spiders seem to be acting like spiders, like large predatory spiders that are swarming a group of prey. You don't see anything that makes you guess. You would not assume that they are especially sentient. The reactions they're giving you seem to be animalistic as far as how they're reacting to threats.
For Bedouin's movement, he's going to get out of the boat.
All right, then. That leaves us to our lizard folk, and they're going to continue dealing with the spiders. There's a few of them. They just keep kind of engaging with a few. All right. And you see that with this distraction, they see you. And that causes a reaction that you can't make out. It doesn't, at a glance, maybe on someone's action, they can attempt a particular insight. They dispatch the four lizard folk dispatch the spiders in their immediate area. Taking down, each one of them takes down a spider. Just whack, whack, whack. And they bring them down, and they're still, now they're not, none of the lizard folk are in immediate danger, but they're still spiders within a movement of getting into striking range. But you see 3 more of these spiders just kind of get hacked down by these beings. We're actually looking at, next up is the spiders. Well, no, of course, you just don't get to play. Okay. Several of the spiders scuttle around within striking distance of you all. They're clambering and climbing along the walls, and some of them you see come kind of pop out, and you see them coming around the corner. Actually, of course, like you see it, they're walking on the water. They're skittering across the water like a water bug.
Yeah.
And you can see when you make them out, they're not like big hairy wolf spider. They're very lithe, like skinny. You would normally use to like a water spider or something like that.
Right.
That one that's coming around towards you is just aggressive, and it moves. It just moves with speed, and it is up on like within maybe 10 feet of you at that where it's kind of as it's closing in, but it's not able to strike in its turn. One of them that moves down leaps onto Corsic. Leaps onto Selwyn. So let's see if he actually.
To that one.
Yes.
Okay. You looked at me and said his name. Freaked me out.
I'm sorry. But you kind of move aside, and it just kind of lands on the steps near you, and near you. So there's one of them here. You still don't. It doesn't seem like there's more. They're kind of skittering away, and if none of them go right at the lizardmen, they're kind of like they're just kind of moving around in space, and the lizard folk are just kind of standing in a defensive stance at this point. Corsic, what do you want to do? You got one spider coming at you from the water.
Okay. How far off is the this? You said the one in the water is about 10 feet
About
off.
10 feet. You're still in the boat. It's coming at the boat.
Okay, and the one that is amidst them, how far off is that one from me?
10 feet away, 15 feet, maybe a little bit up the way. So we'd say 15 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get off the boat, and I'm actually gonna cast a spell. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Sleep,
Okay.
and
Where are you going to center that?
I'm gonna center it on me.
Okay.
If I
It's not
it only
time for a
targets.
nap right now.
If I recall, it's based on hit points.
Oh, it is all creatures.
It is all
It is all
creatures, in
creatures.
the range. So it
Never mind then.
Yeah. There's a
I was
potential
thinking.
it would
I was
carry
thinking
over.
it was specifically enemies. Then no, that's not the correct course of actions.
Okay.
I'm gonna get out of the water and try to pull the boat enough onto the steps so that it's not gonna float away.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and cast Sanctuary on Bedouin.
Okay. And that's an action.
That is a bonus action.
Go ahead and give me a strength athletics check at disadvantage.
All right. What is that?
So one.
Okay.
So I'll be going.
No,
With,
it's a 7.
okay. I'm gonna go with the 10 on the dice, so 13.
The disadvantage.
Oh, it goes to the lowest. 10 then.
Yeah.
10 total.
All right, but that's okay. You're able to pull the boat up several steps and kind of have it balance there, and a little bit out of the water, so it doesn't start to float away. And then you cast Sanctuary on Bedouin.
Yeah.
What does that do?
If something tries to attack you, it has to try and pass a will save to actually do so.
Yeah, you're suddenly a non-threat.
Oh, sweet.
Or I think it's a wisdom save. Yeah.
It's a wisdom. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they see me as a non-threat now as well. Like I was already a non-threat.
That continues until you attack something.
Oh, okay.
But
I appreciate that.
All right.
Was that a cantrip?
no, I don't have those.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So all right. So that takes us back up to Bedouin.
No, it takes us to.
Selwyn. So it's Selwyn. Your Selwyn Bedouin thing is constantly tripping me up for some reason. I don't know why.
So no one's engaged with a spider right now.
You are.
Just me.
Well, yes, correct.
Okay. Lizardmen are not in threat, but my friends are an immediate threat. Correct.
If you glance around, you can probably see the other spider, coming on the water.
Okay. So I am going to disengage, move so I can get a shot at the spider, the spider that's closest to engaging somebody.
Other than yourself.
Yes.
Okay. You can't get to the spider that is closest to Corsic. He's too far out in the water
Okay.
depth for you to get right up on him. You can get within about 5 feet of him, and you'll be about waist deep in.
I want to shoot.
Oh, you just want to shoot?
I want to shoot. I want to
Oh,
move
you
and
just want
shoot.
to, and you can disengage as a
bonus
bonus action.
Yeah.
Okay, so you slip away from
And
the spider.
The intent for the battle, until something changes, is to continue moving and shooting, basically.
Okay, all right. So you disengage. You slip away from the spider that was next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's confused because it doesn't really feel like biting this other guy either. And you take a shot at the one in the water. So go right in.
Probably not so good. I rolled a 6. So we're looking at 9, 11, 12.
No. Comes back. All right. So, Edwin.
Okay, can I walk? How far away is the troop of lizardmen?
They're about 30 feet away from you up the steps.
Okay, I would like to walk up to hanging out with the lizardmen.
Okay, so you're just gonna walk up and just hang out with them. You gonna say anything?
Well, I want to walk up first.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any like immediate reaction when they see me walk up to them? Do they appear to be hostile towards me, or are they still fighting?
Give me an insight check. Well, right now they've killed the spiders that were directly on them. There's still spiders surrounding them.
17.
Based on you have no way to tell from experience specifically with these creatures, but they are not hiding their intention. When they look at you, it's predatory. Like when you approach, they are in a defensive stance, and like you've seen wild animals eye their prey in the same way. So these lizard folk, when you approach them, it's not like you are approaching them as like a threat. It's just kind of like, oh, it's like I guess we'll kill this thing too, sort of. That's their stance.
You need to flick your tongue and do that little throat thing.
Cool.
And you can see as you kind of walk up the steps towards them, the flat entryway and a large archway. I guess it actually does curve like an arch, and you can see like the iconography that's on the archway has like wings and lizard-like symbols that you first think, oh, maybe this is the lizard man temple, but it's pretty obvious based on some of the other art. This is pretty well decorated, and it's as you're stepping on the stone, moving through this is not like any stone that you're familiar with. It's all like dragon. It's clearly dragon iconography at the entranceway to this temple.
Does it appear that this is the entrance to a dragon dungeon?
It's possible. In conjunction with a dungeon, there could also be dragons.
In the same place, dungeons and dragons? That seems improbable.
Yeah. But occasionally it happens. Jesus.
So Sanctuary lasts until I make an attack, right?
Or a minute. Yeah. Until you take a hostile action.
I don't want to tank any of those. Well, I moved up here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll greet them. Open hands. I know we're in the middle of a fight and stuff like that, but they're not all fighting.
Sure.
Open hands.
Right.
I would like to, using body language and other things, show my intentions is to not harm or threaten in any way.
Okay.
Maybe back of hands. I don't know.
Give me a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Are you sure it's disadvantage? Because I rolled a natural 20.
Yeah, no. Sorry. Bad time for that.
That would be an 8.
Okay. Yeah.
No, that's not a minus. That's 12 and 4 is 16. Disadvantage doesn't make me subtract my skill bonus.
It's not a screw you.
No,
roll.
it's a 6.
Yeah.
It's a 16 at that point.
All right, so you got a 16. Okay. So you feel fairly confident that you are showing yourself as a non-aggressive being. That is what you're saying. You don't see any immediate change in their demeanor, but we'll move on.
Who knows?
Okay. Now we'll move on to them because it's their turn.
Yeah, we'll see.
They do not move to attack you.
Good.
But they seem to acknowledge that you're non-threatening. But as far as their mannerisms to you, nothing changes. It doesn't look like they suddenly see you as something friendly, something that they want to interact with on a positive way. But you also don't look like something they have to. They don't make an aggressive move. They kind of move. They all move towards the other spiders and back towards the entrance now. And they're keeping an eye on you, and they're moving towards the entrance of this temple. And then, I guess I'll move on because then it's the spiders. The other spiders are just kind of scuttling around. We'll have the one that's in the water is going to come up after you moved towards it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You take a shot, so it's going to go ahead and attempt to attack Selwyn. And doesn't. It just kind of can't get itself, can't even get its footing out of the water. It's just kind of at the waterline and moves up towards you and just kind of skitters back into the water. Like it's confused about what's happening or what you are. The other one that was by you has to make a will check. I think he will. Go ahead and see. What's my difficulty class with the sanctuary?
It's difficulty 13.
That shouldn't have succeeded. It did not.
I expect it to have been higher.
How high do you expect spell DCs to be? What's yours?
Mine it's 8 plus 4, right? 8 plus the modifier.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 12.
Oh.
It's pretty low.
But I'm not holy.
Yeah, but he's got to spread his stats out.
Kind of a little bit, but
You're a little bit, yeah. All right. So this one, it can't figure out what to do with you. So it actually turns. It breaks. It actually leaves. Actually, no. It came after you. Is that how it works? To attack?
It's once it tries to attack is when it does it. So it can walk all the way up to him and only then
That's
find
what it
out
did.
that it can't do anything.
Sweet.
does it make a frustrated sound?
Yeah. That's what spiders sound like, right?
Yeah. Let's get that on Remix.
Sure. Damn it. All right, Corsic.
All right.
Remax?
I'm going to
Shut
reach
up.
down.
Let's get that on Remix.
Real
See, look, I just did it.
I'm going to reach down into the boat and grab my shield, draw my sword, and head over to Selwyn, help him out with his spider problem. Although I imagine I won't be able to attack this turn. This particular round.
Because you had to get your weapon out and your shield out.
Yeah.
And you move up. I'm going to go ahead and say, though... No, I can... Go ahead and make an attack.
Sure. I'll do that. 14.
That hits.
Nice. 3 points of slashing damage.
Ooh. That doesn't hurt it very much, though.
That's unfortunate. But it's all I can do for now.
All right. You swing at this spider.
Back, beast.
Yeah,
Did you hit a
just kinda
spider with a
whack at it.
sword and not kill it?
It's a big
It's
spider.
a big spider.
Like at the size of a dog?
I might have hit it in the leg
A little bit larger.
instead of the body.
Body-wise, is maybe the size of a largish dog.
Like a Skyrim, the giant spider.
Yeah, but it's a bit thinner. The legs are much longer.
Well, it's not as cold.
It's a water spider.
It's a water spider. All right, Selwyn.
All right. I will continue the dance. I will disengage and then shoot the spider.
Take a shot. Go ahead. And you will have advantage because now your ally is engaged with it. Not advantage. I'm sorry.
Backstab.
You will get a backstab bonus. I apologize. Oh, that was better.
I mean, that's pretty cool. So I double
I deserve it.
all the dice, right?
All the dice, yes, gets doubled.
So it's 6 dice.
It's
plus the
disgusting.
bonus.
I'm gonna tell you don't go ahead and roll. Do you want to roll? Go and roll all the dice. It doesn't happen often.
Yeah, don't take that away from him.
12, 21, 24, 25.
Sure, why not?
That's how you attack spiders.
Ah.
Yeah.
You don't even see. You just see like a kind of like a spider twitch. You hear the noise, the telltale noise. You see the spider kind of twitch in front of you and just crumple. Like,
Bolt
you
just-
don't even see the bolt.
Bolt just
hit.
disappears in one side of the spider and out the other.
You assume that must have been what happened. It was such a perfect shot. You think it might have gone like in the spider's mouth, so you didn't even see the entry wound. It's crazy.
Masterful.
So far, the only one who's done anything cool. I guess that's why you came around.
Yeah.
All right, Bedouin,
Shit.
you're all alone. They've backed away from you now, so they moved towards like the actual archway into this place.
But the spiders also receded, so they're just following the spiders.
They're still there. No, the spiders are moving around. They're keeping their eye on the spiders. None of the additional
they're
spiders.
moving away from me because they don't like me.
Perhaps. I mean, you can make an insight. I mean,
Do
that's your
Do I stink?
interpretation. There's still probably.
All right. Well, let's see if this really freaks them
Oh, there's
out.
still a spider next to you.
Oh.
He just didn't attack you. He just walked up and then made a weird noise.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna attack him. I'm gonna let Sanctuary die. I'm gonna attack him with a ray of frost.
Okay.
So I need to make an attack roll at that point.
It's going to be at disadvantage.
Yeah, because it's a ranged attack, and you're in hand-to-hand combat range with it.
Hey, does what spell did you cast on them?
Sanctuary.
Is it when you make an aggressive action, or is it when you
It is when you make an attack or cast a spell that affects an enemy creature.
an enemy creature? Okay, so
It's,
it didn't have
fifth
to be
edition is
specific.
very specific about balancing through the use of verbiage to make sure game-wise things stay
In that
the way
case,
intended.
I'm gonna cast Infestation on it.
Give them snacks.
Give him some snack. He would need to make a con save.
Yep. Save spells are how you do it when you're in melee.
Shit. So
He will take poison damage.
Swarm of water spiders.
Yeah. No.
And these are not. And the thing is that they're shadow water spiders.
That's what. No, they're not water spiders. These are mosquitoes.
Oh, more mosquitoes.
More mosquitoes.
they don't-
Mosquitoes and mayflies. They come in.
I shouldn't. I'm not gonna step on your narrative.
It almost looks as if it's the ghosts of its dinners past.
Oh no. Oh.
That will
man.
be 4 poison damage,
Oh no.
and he will bugger off 5 feet to the east.
All right.
If he can move 5 feet.
It can.
So he moves 5 feet to the east, and as I cast, I'd be like, "Go!" And then it's all over, and he's like, and does he die?
No.
Oh, then he just buggers off 5 feet to the
Buggers
east.
off.
And I apparently command spiders now to these natives.
The spider is scared of bugs.
Yeah. Mosquitoes are annoying to everybody.
Yeah.
All right then. The rest of the spiders aren't dropping down or engaging, but the lizard folk are moving back towards the entrance, and they're looking down into the entrance. You hear them like make shouts and call out. You don't hear, nobody hears a response. What's your passive perceptions? I think you're like
14?
14's at the max.
15.
15?
But
You don't hear anything either.
I'm busy.
Yeah, they remain in a defensive stance, and they're keeping now their eye on you. They just saw you do magic. You seem to summon swarms of insects and chase away the spiders. You're a scary shaman thing now.
I mean, either they're afraid of my magic or they think I'm a god. I roll the dice. Literally. Actually, you did.
Sure thing. The spider that was on that you scuttled, that made you scuttle away, it's actually going to, it's still the swarm of spiders, the swarm of stuff kind of dissipates, but it actually is going to scuttle away from you, and kind of join its brethren and kind of like move off. You can still see these things. The spiders are still there, but they're not. None of them seem to move down to a graze. They're just kind of scuttling around and moving and getting different stances in different places, on the water, on the ruin, on the temple itself. But none of them kind of close in anymore. They're kind of like eyeing you as potentially more dangerous than the food source. The numbers.
Shit. They are sentient.
You wouldn't assume that.
Or they just have some kind of pack tactics.
Yeah, they just don't. It seems like at this point
Wolf spiders.
they're assessing their situation. And I've seen spiders take their time in assessing when they want to engage in what they would consider to be a prey, especially something that's like apparently there's a danger of mosquitoes.
Apparently, especially something that summons bugs.
But for now,
Maybe I'm the spider
they don't
god.
re-engage with anybody. Corsic.
So all the spiders at this point are falling back.
Yeah, they're all. You can see all of them. They're not. They haven't like buggered off necessarily. They may just. Who knows if this is like their nest, or they're supposed to be here, or what? But they haven't. They haven't left. But none of them have decided to engage.
Okay. Then I will head over to the base of the steps going up into the temple.
Okay.
And I'm not going to start climbing up the steps, but I'll wait for everyone else to follow. Because
I'm ahead of you, aren't I?
Did you actually go to the steps, or are
Yeah,
you
yeah,
still hanging out in the courtyard?
I walked up to where the lizards were, which I thought was further up the
Yes.
steps from where we landed.
Yes.
Then yeah,
Steps
I'm
are-
gonna
you're
then I'll
going up
make
the steps.
then I'll make the catch up with him.
Okay. So
And
you
as
move
I
back-
start going up towards the lizardmen, I'm gonna put my weapon away.
Okay. You see the same scene that I painted for Poncho.
Yeah.
And you see you see there's a corpse of a lizard folk on the ground that you kind of have to step over to close to get up there.
Definitely
you-
a corpse, not an injured one.
No, it's not. It looks
Okay.
dead to you.
All right.
Would have been great.
You see the 4 rest of the lizard folk kind of guarding that entrance.
All right. I won't try to approach them immediately, but for now I'll wait for Selwyn to catch up.
Okay.
By catch up, you mean continue killing spiders?
If you want to keep shooting at spiders, that's fine.
Absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, you can move back into a position where you can see one of the spiders clearly, and you can take a shot.
Yeah.
How many spiders are there?
There are, counting the one that buggered off from you,
Yeah.
6 that you can count.
Oh, I thought there were like tens of spiders.
No.
Okay.
There might be more, but there doesn't seem like more have come in from elsewhere.
Soon they'll be back in greater numbers.
I'm not on a spider hunt, but like moving back to like to assess the situation, like that's not acceptable.
Mhm.
So I will continue shooting at spiders.
Yeah. So you can take a shot at one of the ones that is an easy prey.
I hit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be less exciting though without other people standing next to them.
Yeah.
That is 8.
Yep. You hit it solidly, but the spider is not dead that you hit.
Okay.
So you strike it, and it kind of like rears back and kind of scuttles. It kind of scuttles out of back behind. You can't see it anymore. The one that you shot, and you just kind of what are you doing? Are you just looking for shots, or are you moving your way towards your companion while looking at spiders? Like what are you doing? What's your movement intent?
My back towards my companions, but again, if spiders are not leaving, then I'm killing spiders.
Okay, so you're moving towards the spiders that you could see to get the best shot at the spiders.
Yeah.
And you okay, gotcha. Okay. Bedwin, what would you like to do?
Spiders all around.
Spiders all around.
I'm less enthused about killing all these spiders. I don't know if it's because I initially thought that they were sentient, but they're also not really attacking me anymore, so I don't really care. So I'll continue on. Like
to do what?
I'll kind of. Do I still see the lizardmen, or have they disappeared yet?
They've moved back. They're in the entrance. You saw them like making noises down into the entrance, some sort of noise that you can't understand. And then they are still there. There's still 4 armed lizardmen standing in the entrance to this structure.
All right, maybe I will. I will attack the spider whom is closest to the lizardmen. I don't think he's going to be engaging or that he's anywhere close at all. But
I mean, sure, it's none of them are they're all as close to you as the other lizardmen. They're in the distance. You have to kind of move and get a shot.
Yeah, but I dispassionately send out a ray of frost.
Okay.
22.
Yeah, you hit a spider with some cold laser.
He takes 7 cold damage. And its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You freeze one of these little spiders. You see it like weird twitchy leg motions.
Is it dead?
No, it's still alive.
Okay.
So one of the lizard folk descends. And the other 3 stare at you and Corsic, and they kind of just growl and hiss, and they have their weapons ready, and they kind of shore up the space, spread out so that they're still blocking the entrance.
It's fair enough.
But they make no other action. They just kind of look you up and down.
I'm a freaking bright-haired dude in a dark coat. I'd be afraid of me too.
It's probably not the reason. The spiders, from you can see, most ones you can see, they all kind of like retreat. The frozen ones retreats very slowly. They move out of obvious line of sight and to the back sides of the structure.
Okay. I'm not, again, like I said, not spider hunt. It's just I'm not gonna leave a threatening.
Yeah,
but
you don't have to explain yourself to me.
Yeah.
Someone does what someone does. So we're going to go ahead. At this point, we'll say we're out of combat initiative, and until we're back in combat initiative. So what would you like to do with these lizard folk?
There's one walking down to us.
No, down into the
into the structure.
The other way, and
Okay.
you can see the fact that he's descending. So
Right.
it's going down.
And there's still 3 at the top of the stairs? At the
Yes.
steps? All right. I'm going to call out to them. Hello there. Do you speak our tongue?
They do not respond.
Communication might be difficult.
It might be.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
I've been dropping like a
wait a
billion
minute.
hints.
I know what happens now too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use my my fancy helm.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are you always wearing this fancy helm?
When I'm out about doing heroing work, yes.
Okay.
Not in the middle of town.
Being heroic.
Yeah.
If I'm walking,
heroic helm.
if I'm walking around town in my casual clothes, no, I do not have the.
Not you don't take it out on your first dates.
No.
It might be useful.
It's going to be most impressive.
But I will use my helm of comprehending to cast comprehend languages on myself.
Okay. So you can comprehend languages now.
I can't communicate with them, but I can at least understand what they're saying.
Cool.
And the two of you are engaging lizard folk.
Attempting to.
Well, not physically engaging lizard folk, but yes. I had this image in my head of like Corsic and Bedouin like looking to lizard folk and trying to like communicate with them that we don't really want to hurt them. And in the meantime, Selwyn is back to like jumping from side to side like pew 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 pew.
Oh, and I just remembered by reading it that this will allow me to read written text as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great! Get the boat out.
We'll check that out later.
Is that like a daily or something like that? Or?
At will.
Oh,
Those
sexy.
like those glowing runes were like, please don't shoot the spiders.
The ancient spider people. This is their only.
They're endangered species.
They're
They're the
brilliant.
only beings that can bring peace to the land.
Caution, look out for the lizards. Written by the spiders.
Okay. So
All
you
the rest of the
can
spiders have
comprehend
flown
languages.
off planet.
They're not speaking to you right now, so it's not doing you a whole world of good.
Okay.
But you recall that you can cast that on yourself, and now you feel
Yeah.
that you will be able to understand what they say if they do speak. And you assume that it does seem like they are communicating with some sort of language.
Right.
I do have an idea. So I'm going to cast Minor Illusion, and I am going to make I'm going to make a lizard man.
That's better than letting the guy who can talk to them talk to them.
He's not talking to them.
He's getting ready to.
Well,
He pulled out his hat.
he comprehends languages, doesn't speak languages.
I can't speak
Correct.
their language.
There you go.
But I
So
can
he
hear
can't
what,
talk
I
to
can
them at all.
understand what they're
Yeah,
saying.
You'd be able to
Correct.
understand.
So this is what I do. So I phase in slowly a lizard man next to me, just a standard one. I'm not trying to copy anybody or the dead guy, definitely not. And I turn around and I shake. I hold up my hand and I shake Corsic's hand. We shake hands, and then I turn and I shake the Phantom Lizardman's hand, and I say, "Friends."
I feel like this is akin to blackface, but
I don't feel.
How do you do?
I'm not covering myself in scales or anything like that. This is nothing like blackface. Howdy do. I have to cut it because the only other option is me like splicing something in there, and it just makes it worse. It just snowballs, and we just get taken down, and it's just the worst thing in the world.
So the problem with Minor Illusion is it doesn't animate, and you can't make it do things.
I create an image of an object within range that lasts for the duration. The illusion also ends if I dismiss it.
So trying to shake its hand would make it look like you would go.
It's like our buddy behind.
Yes, it would appear like a lizard man, an unmoving lizard man. But then when you try to, you can still use it as like I'm casting an illusion and trying to indicate that I'm friends with lizard men, but it will be clear to them that it is an illusion. Like because you'll be like, and a lizard man will be like, or whatever horrible racist caricature you conjured with your spell.
Well, it's a cantrip, so I'll just cast it a bunch of times and animate it like cell animation.
only open your eyes once every 6 seconds.
That's not horrific.
It's like Harry
it's not
Housen.
like a jerky. Like you just see an image of a human being that's like.
No, it's not that bad. It's like Harryhausen's Jurassic Park or whatever.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh my God, he's causing lag.
I understand your intent. It's not going to be as smooth as you think.
Correct.
It's going to look a little creepy, and they may hate it. So
I figured that I would know that I couldn't animate it, so I would use some other way
I would
of
like
showing.
you to give me a performance check to see if this appears to be it tells the story that you were intending, or it comes off as something more like a horrific
At least,
mockery.
Can I have advantage
You
on
may
that?
not have advantage on this. No.
at least it's a charisma check.
That would be an 8.
Okay. Yeah. They see this and they gutturally shout and gesture.
What do they say?
It's like filthy shaman is effectively how it translates, and like we'll have to kill them soon. Like they're dangerous.
They're not
Dangerous
fans.
magic.
I'd lay off the magic.
And we're like one of them shoots the other, and it's like, should we kill them now? We're even.
They're currently talking about killing us.
No.
Yeah, magic.
No kill. Friends, yes.
So when I make my way back up to them,
Yes.
Pew pew.
I am going to do my best to continue to look threatening and mimic the look that they were giving us, the prey look.
Okay. I mean, you can give me a performance check at disadvantage since you were mostly focused on killing spiders, but you go ahead and try.
Yeah.
See if you. I mean. Sure. Go ahead.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I could mimic that look. It would just
No.
be. It would just.
You could try. It just seems. You
I'm just
wanna
going
look
to try to be
menacing.
threatening.
Okay. Then you can just be threatening.
Yeah.
Are you trying to actually intimidate them?
Sure.
All right. Then go ahead and give me an intimidation check.
All right. Disadvantage.
No, you can just give me a straight intimidation check if you're just going to try to do your best to be an intimidating person.
That's an 11. I don't do that super well.
Not super well. You don't have a particular intent. You just want to kind of. Okay. So you move up, and you hear they stop. They stop their chatter, and they look at this dwarf moving up.
All right.
And their eyes weirdly focus. Like you see the slits of their eyes kind of waver and focus. And actually, guys, give me a perception. If you can choose perception or insight, depending on how you're focusing. If you're focusing on a physical notice or
These two
an
need to.
intent, just those two because they're closer.
Insight 12.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and do insight. 22.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's a
Natural
natural
20.
20.
Holy shit! Yes, you've seen this look before. You think that they see something that you don't see. Like it seems as if they're focusing on something else. You can't. You're looking at them. You're not sure. You know
Right.
that someone's walking up, but it's weird. And like you focus on that, and then anytime you look back, you can't really tell. But there's something else they're looking at. There's something that's and they look terrified, and they kind of stumble back, and they kind of look at each other and they hiss, and they hiss about they brought an army, like the dead. This is unnatural, and they're like this. We can't let them in here. We can't let them in this place.
I mean,
The
they
dwarves
are.
will tear it down. Those things will tear it down.
They're spooked about something.
Yeah.
Some undead army? I don't...
Oh,
something.
It's nothing. It's just Selwyn.
Yeah.
He looks particularly fierce.
Yeah, I'm like... I don't know what they're talking about, but they're freaked out.
Maybe they can see my darkness.
Something happened. Something's odd.
Yeah. Something's got them spooked.
That guy's going to try to put bugs on us.
We don't like bugs.
We'll be itchy.
We're not.
We'll be itchy and have to move 5 feet away.
That's incredibly inconvenient. Oh, done.
That was inconvenient.
Okay. So that you see them kind of backing up. They're back. They are actually. They go back. It's like we must. Fall back. Yes. And they kind of all move in, and they shout back to their companion. It's like we're coming down. Evil sorcery, not really evil. They don't contextualize a force an evil, but they mention sorcery and darkness, and they can't let them hear.
Yeah, they're not keen on letting you in here or any kind of evil that we represent.
Yeah, it's gonna happen though. So if they kind of go off, can I search the dead lizardmen?
Sure.
I would like to search through and see if there's anything in there.
Sure thing. You see that.
And I let my phantom lizardmen go away.
What are you doing, Selwyn?
They left,
Well, they went down into the structure.
but they're not out anymore.
no.
Okay, so then I can I'll regain more of my normal posture.
Okay.
And I want to look at some of the bodies too to see how they're marked.
Okay. You only see one body. And I guess you're both looking at the bodies. The thing that you notice immediately is the dead lizardman is black in color. Has got his scales. He still has under the scales. It's like he has his normal colorations, like a similar colorations, but it's faded to black, especially on like the spikes and spines and frills are like a deep black, and a lot of the scales are completely colored black. And you can tell at close examination that this isn't like a coloration. This is a natural coloration. This is not it's not paint or anything like that.
Does he have any items on him at all, or?
Yeah, he has you can see he's got some like a bone weapon, like a spiked club, like a 2-pronged bone club, and he's got a shield made of reeds and bones and reinforced stuff that it looks like he's assembled together.
He doesn't have any like beads or any sort of
Nothing that looks. He has jewelry of bones and pieces of things and debris that you would think he thinks is important, but nothing that looks valuable to you.
But is he ornamented? Like, does he have like
There is some
paint
ornamented.
or anything?
You don't see any sort of war paint or anything like that on him, but he's definitely ornamented in like piercings and like necklace and a little bit of like somewhat of armor on certain pieces of him. Not particularly heavily so though. It's all bones and wood.
So,
let's keep going.
well, first off, point of order. Like, we're looking for an alien temple. This all looks certainly unique, but it's not alien.
Have you ever seen a lizardman before?
Have I seen a lizardman before?
I mean, give me a history check.
We would have probably heard of them before, though.
It's
Right?
possible.
But that's no more weird than like a goblin or a kobold or anything like that.
It's a 12 history.
Yeah. I mean, you've definitely heard of lizardmen or lizard folk. There, that there are beings like this that live in swamps.
How long ago did? Because we talked to Thomas. Thomas told us about how long ago, like the ruins and stuff showed up.
Well, the ruins would have showed up during the spell plague. Like
How long ago was that?
beginnings. Like over 100 years.
Okay, there you go.
When they would have showed up, and then the assumption is that it should not still be here if there are ruins.
So Tarmus,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
he said that when we get to the place that we need to look into, it would be obvious to us that it's the place that we need to look into.
Right. Well, okay. So
So looking around the site, like this is where the map has led us, right?
yes.
Is it like
We also passed through a bubble of something
That's true. And there were those readings that were in,
primordial.
so that's odd.
And if it's been here for like 100-something years, it's not. It is not unreasonable to consider that lizardmen who live in the swamp would be like, "Hey, look, this looks like a pretty sweet place to worship lizard gods."
Fair enough. You said that it was all dragon iconography all over the temple?
Sure. If you want to invest, since you have.
If only we had some sort of brilliant but incompetent human.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Does it look like the dragon iconography was added later?
Oh, absolutely not. So I just
picked up what you're talking about.
Don't cut that. Don't cut it at all. Keep all that in there.
Lord.
See, what happened is it's been 2 minutes, so he flopped back to hating Barney's again.
Yeah. I don't want that guy.
No, I just forgot that he was there.
Yeah. A lot going on.
It's not even hate, it's just complete disregard.
I thought you were talking about our guy with the read everything hat that's not reading anything.
Well, there's no writing.
There's no writing to read.
There's no writing on this thing. I'll give you a base description of what you all see.
Right.
And then what you can make out just from looking at it. And then if you want to try to make an additional investigation, or you can tell me a skill you think would apply or how you want to approach this. So the structure is definitely have a dragon feel to it. But the dragon imagery that you have you see is more interpretive or stylized dragons. They're not. It's not meant to be like you see like wingspans, and you could like definitely look at wings. Like that looks like a dragon's shape or maw or like a thing.
There's not like a 1-to-1 scale gold dragon carved out in the middle of the courtyard.
No. And you've seen dragon statues that are trying to show the majesty of a dragon. This is definitely more like the idea of dragons in a space.
It's more interpretive,
right? And it's a fairly what you notice is also very big. It's a big space. It's a big courtyard. The stone, someone you can immediately recognize, not like any stone at first glance that you've seen. You also don't see any gaps. It's not. You don't see any mortar. You don't see anything like that. It is all one. Everything seems like it's one solid shape. Of you think is stone. It's got like an obsidian kind of look to it, almost like a sheen. And there is an odd energy to the air, so it does feel like there is some sort of interference. In fact, I would like all of you to make wisdom saving throws, please.
21.
12.
8.
Okay. Yeah. So it is you definitely get a sense that there's something odd about this place now that it's the conflict has settled.
I think we're in the right spot. I don't like it.
You're reasonably sure, Selwyn, that what you're looking for, that this is the right spot. What you're looking for is here.
Yeah.
You feel so too. You feel like that too.
All right, that means we need to go forward.
Yeah. Misgivings aside, this does look like the most interesting thing we've come across. It's worth checking out.
Definitely way more interesting than the town.
I thought it was a pretty interesting town. A lot of creepy people.
They were all kind of gray.
I mean, on the way here, it got kind of Black Snake Moan. No, Deliverance. That's the one. Got a little Deliverance. On the way here, it got a little Deliverance-y. See what you did there is you laughed at my joke.
I'm just being polite. All right. Well, that'll be our stopping point then for this evening. You found what you think is your destination, and I'm assuming you're either going to descend into this or figure out some way to do something with the space you're in, but we'll save that for later. Thanks for watching our game. I'm glad these guys played. We will be back with more Dungeons and Dragons, and we'll see what these folks find in this temple. Or maybe they'll just say screw it and go home and open a bakery.
What if we fall in a hole?